All right, good morning and happy race day. Let's talk the Xfinity series at Martinsville. It's crazy. This is the second to last DFS weekend of the year for NASCAR. Feels like we were just talking about the Clash and the Daytona 500 yesterday, and here we are getting ready to set the championship four. So that'll be the interesting thing to keep in mind, kind of from a DFS perspective, but also from a just fan perspective. Is we're at race three of round three of the playoffs. After today, half of the field, or at least the playoff drivers, the eight of them are left. Half of those eight will get eliminated, and we will know who the final four drivers who will be competing for that Xfinity Series championship next weekend. We are at Martinsville. If you are not aware, Martinsville is is the shortest track that we go to on the series. It's 250 laps. These laps are going to clock off very quickly. Since we have 250 laps, we got 62.5 points up for grabs for laps led and 112.5 points up for fast laps. So there's a lot of points on the table. There's a lot of points to be gained, to be earned. And we'll keep that in mind a little bit when we are talking about lineup construction versus, do we want more place differential plays? Do we want more, lap leader types of plays? This Xfinity series slate is a little bit interesting with some of the place differential plays that we have, based off of qualifying. So all the drivers in blue and green are the playoff drivers. Ironically enough, they are all the most expensive. Drivers in green have already locked themselves into the next round, so they don't have to worry about points racing. The only thing they really care about is maybe trying to learn something that will they can use at Phoenix, or basically just going for the checkered flag, going for the win today. So looking at the top range here, you got Gregson, Gibbs, Allmendinger, Berry, Allgaier, and Jones. A lot of these drivers start towards the front of the field. I would say, we're probably going to feel the most confident in some of our lap leaders up here. The drivers I feel most confident in leading laps, I would say my number one favorite play as far as a lap leading confidence wise would be Ty Gibbs. Gibbs had the fastest car in practice, not only with single lap, but also factoring the 5 lap average, the 10 lap, the 15. He just looked like he had the car to beat. He unfortunately did not get the pole for qualifying, so he does start on the second row, and he does start fourth, so we'll start on the outside, which is a little bit of a disadvantage. But I think once he falls in line, once they start clocking off some laps, I think he'll be able to move forward. And I could even see him taking the lead at the end of stage one, or definitely during stage two and stage three. Gregson, his practice times weren't great. He is expensive. I don't mind paying down for Allgaier because you get a little bit of a price discount off of Gregson. But I think Gregson and Allgaier are very similar plays. They would be kind of my tier 2 lap leaders. So if you're really confident about Gibbs, and then I like pairing Gibbs with either a Gregson, Allgaier, and or Brandon Jones. I'm going to try to target at least 2 lap leaders in my line and then build it out with some of these place differential plays. I think you should at least have 2. I wouldn't just go with one single lap leader. So I feel really good about Gibbs, and then it just kind of comes down to who else you want to lean on. Gregson has been the hottest driver in the series, by far, especially as of late. Even though he had slower practice times, I wouldn't let that concern you. He's been running well on this track type all year. Allgaier hasn't been as good as Gregson as of late, but we know that these short flat tracks are where Allgaier succeeds. Gives you a little bit of a price discount, from Gregson, and he's really easy to fit with Gibbs. So I like Gregson, Gibbs, and Allgaier. I think if you can try to get 2 of them in your line, you are moving in the right direction. The other play I don't mind in the top range here would be Brandon Jones. These Toyotas look pretty fast. I was kind of surprised that Brandon Jones was able to get the pole. However, we know how important leading laps are, and he has the best opportunity, the best potential to lead laps. My fear is Brandon Jones is going to be extremely high owned for whatever reason. If he loses the lead, I just don't know, if he can get back up to the front. He's kind of expensive at $10,100. So for me, for tournaments, I'm probably going to try to come under the field on Brandon Jones. But if you're playing cash games and you're looking for a, sure thing as far as a lap leader, I would say Brandon Jones has the highest probability, the highest chance of leading laps. Getting down to the 9K range, I really like Sam Mayer, especially for tournaments. everyone is just going to be slotting in Austin Hill right below him, and it's hard not to do that. And we still want to have a lot of Austin Hill. However, these tournaments are really small now. You don't really have to get that different. Sometimes it only takes one pivot play, one driver in your lineup to be different in order for you to get some leverage on the field. One play I really like as far as a leverage pivot play would be Sam Mayer. I think people are automatically just going to jam in Austin Hill and Daniel Hemrick because of the equipment that they're in, where they start. But Sam Mayer also starts pretty deep in the field in a JRM car, and we know that he runs well on these short flat tracks. So I really like Austin Hill and Daniel Hemrick, especially for cash games. But if you're looking for maybe a potential way to get different, if you don't want to get different with your lap leaders, try to get different maybe with your place differential plays. And I think Sam Mayer is a good option for you there. Sammy Smith, if you're building multiple lines, maybe I feel more confident in some of the other drivers who can lead laps. Same argument with Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed would be the contrarian play to Brandon Jones for whatever reason. If Brandon Jones isn't able to get a good jump on the start, Sheldon Creed is right there to take advantage of it. Riley Herbst starts are about where he should finish. I like Landon Castle a lot too. He's kind of another pivot play, maybe off of Daniel Hemrick. We know Hemrick's going to carry a lot of ownership. It's going to be hard not to play Hemrick, but if, again, same argument that we talked about with Sam Mayer versus Austin Hill. If you're looking for just one pivot play, even if you're building, say you build the same lineup, and then instead of putting Hemrick in your line, you build the same exact lineup. You have two lines, and then you put Castle in your line over Hemrick. Like, there's just little tweaks like that, I think, are going to be the way to attack this slate today. Sieg, I would say, is kind of similar to Castle. I just feel a lot more confident in Castle. Alfredo starts too close to the front. Same with Clements. I don't mind Nicholas Sanchez. I don't really know if I'm going to get to him in lines with the lineup construction that I'm building, with taking two lap leaders and two place differential plays and then just seeing what value I have left. So I'm not really getting to the 7K range a lot, but if for whatever reason, if you're landing on this range, I would pick Nick Sanchez as my favorite play out of the 7K range. Griffith, Parsons, Burton all start a little bit too close to the front. We also have to remember Parsons is in the BJM 78 machine. He is not in the Alpha Prime equipment. So $7,300 for a BJM car. No, thank you. Kind of surprised with Kyle Weatherman. He normally, when we see him in this car, he runs very well. He always outruns a Wuji. He's usually running in the teens, but for whatever reason, I guess it's just the equipment. Their practice times were off by far. I mean, they were easily the slowest car on track. Kind of got lucky with some of these teams not taking qualifying times. They start DFL. He can't lose you any points. My fear is he's just so slow, and he's kind of expensive. So my fear is you just got to ride in the back all day, and you're really paying up for Weatherman, who's basically a place differential play. So I don't mind paying down for some other place differential plays to allow you to get another lap leader in your line, or get another really strong, plus 20 positions, place differential type of play. Brown's in the SS Greenlight equipment, kind of same argument we made for Parsons. Don't really want to play that. Snyder starts a little bit too close to the front. LeBay, McLaughlin, Carruth, and Wright, probably all decent plays. They're not target plays for me by any means. LeBay is pretty good on road courses. We know road course guys who are good on road courses tend to be good at Martinsville. McLaughlin starts deep in the field. All he really has to do is clock laps. He's a little bit of a discount off of Weatherman, but I think Weatherman has a lot higher upside. Carruth is an aggressive GPP play. These are the types of tracks he should run well at. I just wish he's qualified a little bit deeper in the field. Chris Wright kind of is a road course guy. The chances of him DNFing are very high. However, he was able to put together a full race at Homestead last weekend. So if he's able to just do that today, just literally keep the car clean and just make laps, the equipment alone should allow him for a top 25, finish type of day. The fear is that he's just going to have, get into someone or spin or hit the wall. Like, it's really risky. Not really to get to Yaley or Curry. And then when it comes to the pump plays, my favorite two pump plays are going to be the DGM cars of the 92 of Josh Williams. And then all the way on the bottom of the slate there, or almost the bottom of the slate, I should say, is Mason Massey. I really like these DGM cars. They start right next to each other. They start deep in the field. They showed decent practice times. I like the equipment that they're in. I like the lineup that you can build by punting with both of those plays and or one of those plays. If he needs to go a little bit lower, I don't mind Ryan Vargas, but if you're going to go that low, you might as well just plug in Chad Finch for mint salary starting 35th. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Like I said, for me, I want to try to get 2 lap leaders. Most of my lines have either 2 of Gregson, Gibbs, Allgaier, or Jones in my lineup, and then trying to target players like Mayer, Hill, Castle, Hemrick, and then coming down to this punt range and grabbing Williams in Massey and or Vargas or Chad Fincham. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was, leaving a like on the video is always appreciated. Any questions you have about lineups, or, do I play this driver or this driver? Or, hey, what do you think about this? So let me know in the comments below. This spreadsheet is currently posted right now up on Twitter if you want access to it. I think the slate locks sometime early this or mid-afternoon, so plenty of time to get your lineups in. Once the cup qualifying and practice is done, we'll get that video recorded and posted as well. But best of luck today, and thanks for watching.